I was born here in Miami. My mother and my father were both born in Cuba, but they came here at a young age. My father was a Pedro Pan child in the Peter Pan flights. My mother came here in the Freedom flights, both in the 60s. As I grew older, I kind of realized, how much you have in common with certain elders and relatives later on, So I was like really interested in just learning more about my family before my time. My grandfather was a photographer. He had like a dark room in his house in New York in the basement. As I got older, I started like really admiring the photographs he took. A lot of them are just him when he's young and different photographs, and he stayed doing photography as like a hobby and like a side profession in a way, but like more like the artistry side of it, And he would develop his own prints and stuff. So I have a lot of those things. Cushy Gigs is a creative of a bunch of artists from Miami. We've worked with everybody, different teams, just a bunch of amazing projects around the city that have always been like a real honor for us. So yeah, we work with international projects and things from all around the world, but whenever we get to do something with home team, it means a lot more because we're from here, So I always felt like this light blue and like this faded red and this antique white, all these colors kind of just have a nostalgic feeling. A lot of countries, when you see the flags, when they're old, you see the discoloration of it. The way I did it was I kind of turned it into a pattern that up close it just looks more like patchwork. The further away you get, the more visible the images are. I wanted to have more of a childhood, nostalgic vibe to the logos. Like it feels like something animated from that time, These letters I kind of played off of just a freestyle that you can see some graffiti work in it, but at the same time, the style is influenced by like old 1940s, 1950s baseball like illustrations and comics you would see, something that you might have seen stamped on an old flyer of that era, Which is an era like, as an artist, all the artwork, a lot of stuff back then was just hand illustrated, whether it be a card catalog or a baseball ticket or something like that. All that stuff is real inspiring to incorporate that feel into the design somehow. Like this could have existed, 60 years ago. It's such a cool local thing to do, and like how smooth process it is to get when you get to that point where you get invited to it, you feel honored. But then when you sit back and you look back, you're like, wow, but it means so much more. It's like, man, if you could show that to your elders that came from there, they'll be like, wow, okay, I still have my parents here, I got my kids that are gonna come. So for me, that's real fulfilling too,